Basically, what we got going on right now is Derek Carr. Breaking news: Derek Carr signing a 4-year deal with the New Orleans Saints. $150 million on a 4-year deal. 100 of it fully guaranteed. So based on this news, we talked about different situations on where Derek Carr is potentially going. So what do you think about this? Do you think Derek Carr would be a good fit with the New Orleans Saints?
Yeah, I think that Saints got a pretty good deal, actually. Right? You look at that contract. 4 years, 150. The 100 guaranteed, they could get out of it for $100 million. So I think I thought he would get more than that personally.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, he's got good stats. I mean, he suffered from being on a team that was not very good most of his career, and had coaching a revolving door for coaches and offensive coordinators. So I think that he'll do very well with the Saints, and I think that he's a good fit for them, and I think the Saints will be one of a strong contender in their division now because Brady's gone. And the Panthers haven't been able to land a quarterback yet, and the Falcons, they don't have a quarterback either.
Right.
So I'd say the Saints will be favored to win that division this next year.
Well, they should be, absolutely.
The defense is pretty good.
Yeah,
right? And they have some weapons on offense too. Alvin Kamara is good.
Well, he may be in jail for all we know on the.
Well, if he's not in jail, and he could be out there.
No, yeah. If he's not in jail, yeah, he's a great running back. But I don't love this pickup. Truthfully, I don't particularly like this because I think we take a look at who's around there. We got the Jets who are out there. We got other teams that were looking at him. The Raiders dropped him. 49ers could have been an option technically if they wanted to go that route, but it wouldn't have been smart. I thought the Jets were a perfect fit here, just because I thought, they were just the overall better team. They were younger weapons. You had a top 4 defense. You had an okay offensive line. Running backs, I think, were right now better, depending on Alvin Kamara's status, but you had a deeper running back room. The defense was just better on the Jets. But Derek Carr is obviously getting an upgrade. He averaged, since coming to the league, the 32nd ranked defense in the league. He had a horrible defense. Now you're going up with the Saints, who have had a pretty good defense. I mean, a couple of seasons ago, they were number 4 in defense, and they've kept relatively the same pieces, dropping 1 or 2 pieces off here. They have Tyrann Mathieu. Their offensive line's okay, not great. I still think they can improve on that. But
they still have the draft.
You do. Michael Thomas.
I mean, they didn't give up anything to get Derek Carr, just money.
Yeah, you didn't really give up much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You didn't have to compensate, I guess I could say, for Derek Carr. But I will say this. You cannot say Michael Thomas is an asset for Derek Carr right now because you haven't seen him play in 2 years. And when he was out there, he wasn't all that great either. He came in, he tried to come back this past year. Didn't look great. Ended up getting hurt again, sidelined for the rest of the year. So he's unstable. And he's going to this year, which is I think it's essentially a contract year. Because I believe his cap in next year is ridiculous for a wide receiver. So he's coming in and he posted.
He's going to play well this year.
He's
better.
Playing
for a contract.
Well, I mean, he said on Twitter already, thank you, Jesus.
The year they play for a contract is usually a very good year for most players.
Yeah.
If they're healthy.
I'm going to say this team makes sense because they were the first team to talk to Derek Carr when the Raiders let him choose where he wants to go. And they opened up access for teams to talk to Derek Carr. This was the first team that he talked to. The Jets, I got to say with them, they were hyping Derek Carr up so much, calling him a first ballot Hall of Famer potentially, and saying oh yeah, Derek Carr's in his Matthew Stafford status where his talent's being wasted on a horrible team, but if he goes to an actual team, he can go out and win a Super Bowl. That's what Robert Saleh was saying. I think, you know what? I mean, but this sort of makes sense. Derek Carr, South guy, Southern guy, Southern. He has that Southern hospitality. He goes into now New Orleans. He comes in, New Orleans is a very loyal community, I would say, especially when it comes to football. When Drew Brees came in there, they embraced Drew Brees, and as soon as he had success there, no matter what Drew Brees did, it seemed like the Saints fans were always super loyal to him.
New Orleans is a party town.
That's true.
Bourbon Street, right?
Yeah, but
the
I mean,
French Quarter.
You're not going to see Derek Carr go up
party
there.
town.
You're not going to see Derek Carr go up and, on, was it, whatever that, like you said, Bourbon Street.
No, I'm not saying him, but I'm saying the fans, and I think they get well lubricated before the game.
You think?
Well, I guess that's true for a lot of teams, partying before the game.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
But I've been to the Superdome once, and it's quite a facility. It's not far from the party zone. So, you can party for a while, and then you can walk over to the stadium and enjoy yourself. So
there you go.
I think that Saints fans will be pretty happy that they got Derek Carr.
I would say so. I mean, it's an upgrade over.
Plus, they got him under $40 million a year.
This was 37.5. I think it's broken down. The $100 million fully guaranteed is interesting.
Yeah,
because
that hurts Lamar Jackson a little bit, I think, in his quest.
Well, it's not a main topic I'm going to talk about, but later on in the show, there have been a little bit of an update on what the Ravens are going to do, and we mentioned actually the potential of them doing this certain situation. I'm not going to hint to. I'm going to sort of tease it for later in the show, but Derek Carr, 4 years, $150 million. I can't say I'm that surprised, honestly, because that was sort of the range I think that they were going for, about $37.5 million, give or take. But
Jets may be sorry they didn't try harder to get him.
The Jets are in a weird situation right now because if Aaron Rodgers comes back, and the report is the Packers will welcome Aaron Rodgers if he tells them, I'm going to be all in for this season and next season, they would, or at least this season, they would welcome him in open arms. But if Aaron Rodgers is not fully committed...
That's a change. I heard they wanted to get rid of him.
No, I mean, well, think about it. If Aaron Rodgers is not all in, right? If he's half in, the Packers don't want him.
Well, what's he going to say? Not in. He's going to say, hey, I'm half in. Take me back. He's not going to say that.
No,
he's going to say, I'm all in.
Here's the thing, no. The report is with the Packers is that the days of Aaron Rodgers, making or forcing them to make decisions on personnel, that's over. Aaron Rodgers will not be, saying, go get me Randall Cobb, go get me so-and-so. That's over. Aaron Rodgers now needs to go to them. The Packers don't need to go to Aaron Rodgers and beg him to come back. Rodgers is going to need to come to them and say, I want to play for this team this year. So that's the big difference there. So when you go into this team, the Jets are going to need to, first of all, figure out what they're going to do. I still think right now I would take Jimmy G over Aaron Rodgers for the Jets. Because guess what? Jimmy G is a younger quarterback. He is severely less expensive. You don't need to give up nothing for him.
The Raiders interested in him now? I thought you said that. You told me that.
Yeah, no. The report is the Raiders and Jimmy G are very, very close.
That kind of contradicts the McDaniels interview where he said we're going for a young quarterback for a long term.
I mean, what Jimmy G's what? Jimmy G's 33 years old, something like that.
So he's not young.
He's had a 9-year career, but it's like I guess it could be 33.
He sat on the bench for the first 4.
And the problem with that is that he wasn't healthy. He hasn't been healthy. He's been healthy for 2 years of his career, which that's the big if, and that's the whole problem with Jimmy G. So. We're talking about this. The Jets may be in a weird situation because just hypothetical situation. Derek Carr is now gone. Okay?
Yeah.
Then you have Aaron Rodgers staying with the Packers.
Right.
Let's just say that. And Jimmy G goes to the Raiders.
Yeah.
You are now left with Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston, and Baker Mayfield on the open market.
Well, Lamar Jackson, maybe.
Lamar Jackson's a maybe.
Yeah.
But here we're going to talk about Lamar. It's getting interesting for Lamar Jackson.
I don't think the Jets are going to land him.
I don't. No. It seems very, very unlikely. But
I think Jimmy G should be really happy, right? He's put himself in a good negotiating spot.
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely,
particularly if Aaron Rodgers stays with the Packers. I'm sure Jimmy G's going to wait and see what happens there before he strikes his deal.
Right. No, that is a very, very good point. But what? I mean, would you say the amount is the right amount?
I think it's a pretty good deal for the Saints.
I would agree with that completely. Because
what kind of money do you think Jimmy G will land?
I think it's going to be between 30 and 35. It's going to be below Derek Carr.
Yeah, you think so?
Absolutely. I think Derek Carr's a better quarterback.
The same number of years, though?
What would I say, 4 years? I go 4 or 5, I would say.
Yeah.
For Jimmy G. But, it depends on what his market's worth. If his market's not worth squat, then there's no point in doing anything.
His market's quite good for him right now, right?
There
aren't many quarterbacks left, and he's one of them. And there's quite a few teams that are still looking.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Ooh.
The Panthers are still looking.
Yeah, he's not going.
The Jets are still looking. The Raiders are still looking.
That's true. The Raiders, yeah. No, I mean,
So it's 3 teams. The Colts. Who are the Colts going to have as
draft.
a quarterback?
Colts going to draft. That would be my guess. The Colts are going to go draft probably someone like a Will Levis, depending on where they actually want to go with their franchise. But that's my guess. With we're going to do a mock draft. I think. I think that's what I have on the horizon of us.
What number do the Colts pick at?
I believe they're number 4.
Okay, so they should be able to get a pretty good quarterback.
Well, here's the thing: they may trade.
They
may trade up to that number 1 spot to try to get a Bryce Young or a C.J. Stroud before the Texans or anyone else like that.
The Texans aren't going to trade down, right? They want that quarterback, I would think.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not saying that at all. No, the Texans are staying. I'm talking about the Bears pick. The Bears have the number 1 pick.
Bears are 1.
So they would try to jump that, and yeah, no, the Colts do have the number 4 pick. Just wanted to double check on that. So here's the problem with Derek Carr right now. I am extremely excited to see where or how well he plays with the Saints, but I don't like this pickup at all. I don't like as soon as this pickup went through, I'm like, I don't like it. I just have the weird feeling.
Why?
I have the weird feeling that this is not going to work out as well as people are hoping it would.
But why wouldn't it?
Because I think let's go down the line offensively. It's close offensively, but I think the true impact of each player, right? So let's go. The offensive line is comparable. I think they're average to good offensive lines. Although the Raiders have, some definite deficiencies on the offensive line. Running back, you have Alvin Kamara, who may be in prison. On the Raiders, you had Josh Jacobs. I would take Josh Jacobs over Alvin Kamara. Especially recently, Josh Jacobs has outperformed Alvin Kamara.
True.
Okay? Let's go weapons. Okay? Let's go wide receiver 1. You have Michael Thomas, who is injury prone. He hasn't played in 2 years. Then you compare him to Devontae Adams. Then you got Chris Olave versus Hunter Renfrow. Then you go to a tight end on the Saints, I don't even know, to Darren Waller. The Raiders have better talent on offense.
I would say you're right.
And then on defense,
but I'm not
the Raiders
talking,
defense is
I'm talking
terrible.
about it on from the point of view of the Saints.
Right.
He's definitely better than Andy Dalton.
100%.
Okay. He's better than Jameis Winston.
100%.
Okay. So he's going to make the talent around him better. It may not be as good as the Raiders' talent.
Right.
But they're playing in a weak division. So I think
that's true.
I think
he is the best quarterback in the division. I'll give you that.
How many games did they win?
Last season?
Yeah.
I think, they won 7, 6?
Did they win 7 games? I thought maybe 6.
Bring it up right now. They won 6 and 11.
6. So...
Are you talking about the Saints or the Raiders?
The Saints.
Saints won 7.
Saints won 7 games.
Carolina, New Orleans, and Atlanta all won 7 games.
Huh. So I think in their division, they could win. They lost some games in their division, I assume.
The Saints are the best team in this division right now. With adding Derek Carr.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they've upgraded, and they probably can pick up 2-3 wins out of it.
I took a picture here because I was very, very curious. The quarterbacks in this division now are absolutely ridiculous. Take a look at this. The QBs in the division are Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, and Jake Luton. Jameis Winston will probably be released due to cap-saving reasons because, once again, the Saints have one of the lowest cap spaces in the NFL. That's another reason why. You're not going to be able to surround him with talent as much as you would hope to unless you move a bunch of pieces around. The Falcons have Desmond Ridder and Logan Woodside. Who's Logan Woodside? Who knows?
Never heard of him.
Desmond Ridder, he's a young quarterback, needs to develop. He looked okay, not great. The Buccaneers only have Kyle Trask. Only have him on the roster. And then the Panthers have Matt Corral and Jacob Eason. Sam Darnold isn't even on the roster right now. He's a free agent. And PJ Walker, he's PJ Walker.
Yeah.
So
I would say you're going to see Baker Mayfield back in that division somewhere.
I'm saying Baker Mayfield to the Bucs. I've been saying that. Because it was just a random thing. I was like, imagine Baker Mayfield throwing to Mike Evans.
What happened to Gabbard?
He's an old quarterback.
Yeah, but how come he's not with them?
He's not under contract right now. So who knows what's going to happen there? I don't know. I don't like this. I don't hate it. I don't hate it because he's going to a significantly better situation, at least franchise-wise, because the Raiders are the Raiders. They've been a mess for years.
The Saints made a good decision for themselves.
Oh, no, that's all.
Right?
I agree with that because you have no one compared to that.
Derek Carr may be a little frustrated because he's not going to have the kind of talent he had with the Raiders.
Right.
So that could be an issue. But again, he's playing against teams in his division that are not the same caliber as in the Raiders division.
Right.
Right. So things may even out. I think the Saints will be the team to beat in that division.
Really?
In that division.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. They may wind up with a 9-8 record or 8-9 and make the. I mean, the
8-9 won it last year.
8-9 got them into the playoffs last year. The Bucks. So they don't have to win that many games to get into the, and they don't have to win one more game from what they won this year.
Right.
So I think they made a good choice landing him.
Here's the thing: if Aaron Rodgers retires or goes to the Jets, you got Jameis Winston. I'm sorry, you got Jalen Hurts. You got Dak Prescott. Could you make an argument that Derek Carr becomes the third best quarterback in the NFC? Behind Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott.
Who? Derek Carr?
Because right now, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets, let's just say the Jets get their guy.
Yeah.
Is Derek Carr not one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC?
In the NFC?
In the NFC. He's top 5 at least.
Yeah. Well, who else is in the NFC?
You got Jared Goff. You got Jalen Hurts.
Jared Goff. He's played very well last year.
He has. No, I'm going to give that to you. You got Kirk Cousins, who, he's not great.
Well, I think played all right, right?
Justin Fields, he doesn't have a team.
He's very good.
He's very talented, but we got to see him throw the ball.
Daniel Jones.
We're going to get into him later. No, stop it. You got Kyle Trask. You got no one in the NFC South. You got Brock Purdy or Trey Lance. No.
Well,
let's go. Come on.
If they're healthy, Brock Purdy is a pretty good quarterback.
Okay,
he won 8 games. He never lost a game.
We saw a Cinderella story. Come on.
He got hurt. He didn't get a chance to finish a game where he might have won it in the NFC Championship game.
I don't think Brock Purdy's going to come out and do the same thing he did last year. I think that was just a weird situation. I think that was just a weird situation. And besides, it's Trey Lance's team. Kyle Shanahan already said that. So we're going to see exactly, if he actually lives up to that.
He said that this year? He said
that last year.
Well, last year, but now he may not be so sure. Oh, Brock Purdy played well.
Yeah, that's the question mark. What will happen with that?
He never lost a game.
Fair. You got Geno Smith signing a 3-year deal today, $105 million with the Seahawks.
That's a decent deal for the Seahawks, I think.
Matt Stafford, injury prone. We don't know if he's even going to be available.
Yeah.
And then you got Kyler Murray, Call of Duty Kyler. He's not been that great. And then you also got like Sam Howell. So you could definitely make an argument that Derek Carr is top 5 in the NFC right now.
Top 5, I agree. Top 3, I'm not so sure.
The Saints in this division will make a 4 seed, play a team like maybe a Detroit. Because if Aaron Rodgers leaves, I'm betting that the Detroit Lions win the NFC North. If Aaron Rodgers leaves, I think there's a decent chance that Detroit wins that division.
Yeah, you could be right.
And Lord knows how many years that it's been since the Lions won. It's been
what's Kirk Cousins going to do? He's available too, isn't
technically, he? Yeah. I mean, he was on a 1-year deal, fully guaranteed deal this year. So
he's a free agent, right?
I mean, I don't actually know that situation.
How come nobody's talking about him?
I'm not familiar with that situation. I got to go in depth in that.
We might want to talk about that next show.
Yeah, well,
what's going on there?
We'll figure it out. If there's any hype around Kirk Cousins, which I don't believe there is, but. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.